Hello and welcome to this attempt at a video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Gingybeer. I've been streaming on Twitch for the past few years, and recently I've had a baby, so I've had to slow everything right back. And to put it quite simply, having a slight existential about how to manage my time doing what I love still, while still being present for my kid, basically. It's been an interesting 9 months. Massive learning curves. I am doing a lot less than I thought I was going to in regards to having a kid. I thought I was going to have more time, stupidly, to focus on some personal work, but it just never happened. So I'm at a point now where I'm starting to get a little bit more help with things, and I want to get stuck in with doing projects and such. The weird thing that I noticed the other day was, because I haven't been painting and drawing as much, I feel like I suck. And I know the usual thing is, oh no, you don't suck, and you know, nobody likes being negative in that respect, but I have very much acknowledged that I am so out of practice. I am very disappointed in what I am making, and every now and then there's like a little gem that finally appears. But I realize I just need to do this more. So today I'm going to take it really easy and try film this video. Basically take a little bit of a step back from streaming and the pressures I give myself from that. Hello, Caesar. And I will be disrupted multiple times by somebody who wants attention. Yes, hello. So this sketchbook that I'm working in at the moment, it's the most expensive sketchbook that I've ever owned. I got gifted it from a family member, and it's the Etchr Perfect Sketchbook. And I've done like a few pages in it, but I was dedicating this sketchbook specifically for doing pictures of like my son and like the days out that we have together, just to like have like a really nice use for, you know, how expensive this sketchbook is. Because this is not something I would normally buy for myself, but like I've always wanted to try something fancy like this, and I'm still getting used to it. Like, I'm not in love with it, but it's a different paper texture from what I'm used to, so it's like having to relearn again how to do certain things. And don't bite my straw, please, thank you. So we get to do the fun thing where I am trying to draw this out without making any horrendous mistakes. So we're going to like loosely block this in and then build up that way. So the photo reference that I'm using initially is, I think, from February. We went to the Sea Life Centre in Birmingham because we got some free tickets, and they have like this tunnel at the end, basically, that you can walk through, and you can see all the fish really nicely through this tunnel. The thing that I didn't realise was how short this tunnel was, because I'm used to a different aquarium where like its main focus is this gigantic tunnel that you can walk through. So in my wonderful panicness, I kind of rushed it, sadly. My husband managed to get like one photo of me carrying our kid through, so that's what I'm trying to draw today. So I've only got like an initial picture of just this bit, and I'm going to try and do like the rest from memory, so it's not going to be exact. I'm just going to keep it nice and casual, and I'll probably play about with the colours and make things like a little bit more extreme than they were. It's also going to be interesting trying to film this as a video. I've still got everything set up like through OBS, like for streaming, but I've just changed a few settings here and there. So this kind of format is really new for me. So if audio is a little bit balked and such, I do apologize. Hopefully this is something kind of we'll learn a bit more about. So that's obviously the beauty of live streaming, is if there's a technical issue, people can help you on the fly immediately. So it's really good for sorting out problems like in the moment. But with videos, it's just, I can't be asked with the trial and error. So much hassle. I'm just going to learn as we go, and hopefully we get better quality as we go. I do have my little studio buddy Caesar with me, as you can see, just crawling in and out of the shot every now and then. For those of you who are who watch me regularly live, like, you know how much Caesar just wants attention at all times. So we all do our best to give him attention occasionally. Can't give him too much, no. He's been naughty the past few days, so he gets just the right amount of scritches and cuddles. I say that, he always gets scritches and cuddles. I can never tell him off. He's just misbehaving a lot more because there's been a few stresses in the house here and there, especially with the baby gates. Like he's doing like the usual cat thing at the moment where he just wants to be let out all the time. Because, you know, cat. First you let him out, and then he's like back at the gate again, just pawing at it. It's like, please let me in. There was never any end to this. Hey, buddy? I'm also going to try this like method of editing where I'm hoping the audio picks up correctly, that I can just use the feature that it just deletes any footage where I'm not talking. So that would be quite helpful. Oh, I like messed up my leg there. I have not made my jacket long enough. Too short. I think I've made my bag too small as well. Well, it's going to live like that now. The choice has been made. Might have been a bad one, but it is what it is. Small the back. Yeah, I need to do the butt down lower. The center of gravity is going this way, so we'll just do a line there for the weight. But yeah, this sketchbook has been interesting to try and figure out. The paper is lovely, don't get me wrong. I chose the smooth paper, which I kind of regret at this point. I much prefer heavily textured paper, and I thought I was going to be using a lot more mixed media in this, right, as I usually do, but it kind of didn't turn out that way, and the pencil wasn't going on in the way I thought it was going to go. More practice needed, but if I was to ever get like another fancy sketchbook like this, I would definitely go cold press. I need my rough texture. There we go, and Caesar is now cuddled. On my other sketchbook, yes, you need a decoy sketchbook at all times, don't you? Does anybody else's cats do this? Or even dogs? What kind of creatures do you have that just love to disturb your peace at all times? Like, I love him, but as many of you know on stream, he can be just a nuisance, and it's great for you guys because it's like, oh, cat, adorable, and I'm just sat there having a bit of a meltdown. Like, mate, I'm trying to get on with work for once. Please be my friend and just like sit off to the side. I can still give you pets. I can still give you cuddles. How messed up does that foot look? Super messed up, but it's fine. What we shall do is kind of hide it in the darkness. When in doubt, just change everything. Make my hips go more severe in with the legs there. Yeah, more severe. But it is quite nice with the sketchbook to use the mechanical pencil. I've been trying to like do things a bit differently in some other sketchbooks and use the Dewwent Inktense pencils, like just to change things up. Because I thought to myself, oh, I should get back into watercolors. It'll be fine. And then I realized, like, I'm so out of practice with watercolors. I went straight back to gouache immediately. I'm like, I know how to use this. I can use this a lot quicker. I don't have to think as much. I don't have to like fully plan out a painting anymore. Because part of me wants to get into plein air. Like, I really wanted to take part in plein April. See, when I try and say that, I feel like I'm putting on an accent. Plein April. See, automatically. Can't help it. It's just a dumb thing. My brain can't take it seriously. But yeah, I really want to take part in it, and I even like scheduled it out in the diary and everything, but it never happened. The best intentions. I'm just making certain bits now as I go. The premise is there. The execution, on the other hand, we'll see how that goes. Who needs accuracy today, right? I'm going to get covered in an insane amount of colour anyway, so this is all going to be blocked out, and I'm going to make up like most of the bits on the side. And so we've got a rock here, which looks a bit dodgy. Can I change the shape of you just a little bit so you look like something spurting out of you? So we'll do that. Goes down, and then we've got like this jet of bubbles going up here. And then we have a shark up ahead, but I'm going to enlarge you. You can go up there, mate. It's like that. It's just like a little bit more imposing. We were trying to get like a photograph of when the shark, like one of the sharks getting like a little bit closer, or like, oh, one of the giant turtles. That was amazing seeing that come over, but too many people in the way, because I get really funny in enclosed spaces, and it's definitely even worse now with a baby. So I'm like, I can't escape easily now because there's a pram. I really have to think about my exit strategies. So hence why we took him out the pram for this moment, so you can actually see a little bit better. And amazingly, he did actually appreciate it. I was a little bit worried taking him to something like this. Like, how old was he at the time? Like 6 months, maybe? I was trying to fathom, like, is this just wasted, or is this just for like me and my husband to enjoy? Which wouldn't be the end of the world. It was a very busy day because everybody had free tickets as well. But no, he seemed to enjoy it, and he got it right up close to the penguins and acknowledging them, so that was really cute. We can have Finn going really close there. Angle that a little bit more. Can't tell too much that it's a shark, but I don't mind. And that fades out into a cloud about there-ish. We've got sparklies around by here. That's just a big silhouette. Like that. And I have no idea what I'm doing here. Or do I have this kind of like trailing off and I can just have like another separate picture here? That might be the way to go. And just focus on getting some paint down more than anything. What do we need? We need spritzies. If we can undo this slightly. Oh no, don't say this is blocked. Yeah, that is not spraying correctly. You were definitely blocked. Note to self, get a new spritzer. Not too bad though. Still not doing his job. Can you tell I was prepared for this? I don't know which is going to be my main blue. I'm thinking this one or maybe the other one. Maybe we need something a bit stronger, don't we? We'll get all these down as like the base layer anyway. Let's try this one. Oh, that one's not too bad. So I've kind of noticed with this sketchbook in particular, the colours they don't feel as vivid, and I don't think it's the case of like it's not against a bright white. It feels slightly flatter, but I think that's the way the colour's being absorbed into the paper. Like I said, still getting used to it. I was going to try and do a wet on wet, but I think I'm going to try and keep it loose and just go like as sketchy as possible. I mean, everything's underwater, so all the colours are going to be bleeding together anyway. Just get these like first layers down. That colour's lovely. Goes into full darkness here. One of the big things I've been trying to do with painting again is be brave with bold colours. I tried to do a plein air the other day and I don't know, I was just a coward with what I was doing, but purely because I was using watercolours. So I was just being steady in the colour build-up, whereas that's why I quite like gouache, because you don't have to worry about the order that you're really putting things in, right? Like, sure, all your initial layers, you can treat it just like watercolour, but as soon as you start going more opaque, it's like, oh, I can have fun with this. I don't have to panic too much. So I'm just trying to work on that bravery. It's like the more I do stuff, the more I realise paintings look like you can lack in technical ability in regards to drawing, like your line work, as long as your shadows are good. Strong shadows just really make up everything, I find. And I really want to start focusing on stuff like that again. I guess that's like a true observational drawing then, isn't it? Okay, they're blending nicely. I'm happy. Yeah, what I might do, I'll leave like some of this space open. I'll just like blur it out. And what we can do, we can add like a study on the far right. Here, I'm going to start mixing bits of purples in. I've not refreshed the colours in the palette for quite a while, so I've got some very, very grainy bits. It's like the binder in them has like fully dried out. See, it's been that long since I've been doing like proper pictures again. I also said to myself, like, I need to just like start using up my materials. Like, for once, I actually dated my sketchbooks when I started streaming. And I've still got stuff from like 2020 that I have not filled. I'm trying to set myself a challenge of like, I am not allowed a new sketchbook until I fill all of these up. As much as it's nice to have a new sketchbook, it's just extremely wasteful. But it's good motivation. Like, for example, like with this sketchbook, I can't be precious about it. Just got to actually use it. I'm using quite a big brush as well at the moment. Just easier to cover more surface area. I don't get lost in the details then. Let me just focus on shape more than anything. You can see the yellow of my bag coming through. So let's just do a slight little base colour yellow poking through. Same with hair. Need to add a bit of warmth to that. Baby is full blue there. Anything else? Almost like an edge lighting there. Also, I feel like a lot more confident in the it looks worse before it gets better camp. I used to be so put off with how like a picture was going before like all the colours, all the main colours were like laid down. It always just put me off like never finishing anything. Definitely feel a lot better about that now. Again, I think that's like why gouache is quite nice. If you don't like it, you can easily just paint over something. Also, I've noticed I probably would upset a few people the fact I have not taped down my edges. No beautiful crisp clean edges to try and keep. I feel like I don't care so much with this sketchbook because it's got like a really nice deckled edge to it. No, I want to keep that roughness. That is nice. Okay, we need to start adding some purple into these mixes. What I'll do now, I will just focus on the painting and we'll cut the audio and just have some music on the background as we try and fly through some of this. Now we add the white with plumes of cloud. This adds a level of opaqueness to the painting. And then something like this. Yeah, something like this. Color in the trousers. Color in the trousers. Color in the trousers. Yes we do, yes we do, yes we do. Just like this. So I've just used the hairdryer on it just so I can get some sharp lines again. So we're no longer working wet on wet. It's actually an extremely grey day today. I've had to put on my main work light in my room just to try and get the place lit up a little bit better for filming. But on a weird positive, it was meant to be raining today, but it's just an incredibly cloudy day today outside. I mean, hopefully tomorrow the weather won't be too bad. We can try out the new stuff for the bikes tomorrow. That'd be good. Part of me is really hoping to like get into plein air a lot more. So we're trying to buy like bits and bobs for the bike to make it like easier to like bring stuff with me. But unfortunately, the racking that we bought for the panniers doesn't fit the bike at all, even though it says it should. So that's kind of like messed up our plans a little bit. So we're going to have to contact the bike manufacturer and be like, hey, this does like nothing actually fits at all. Can you recommend something, please? This is quite important. Like, don't get me wrong, I could carry stuff in a backpack, but I still need to carry like all the baby stuff. And that is surprisingly a lot of things still, even if we are just like briefly going out for a little bit of the day. Yeah, hopefully we can have a bit more of a better travel system put together so we can like do adventures outside and I can still bring some paints, and hopefully with enough like plein air practice I'll feel a bit better for stream again. One of the bigger issues I find for streaming at the moment is because I'm having to do it in the evening now, I'm so tired. When the day is done, the baby's in bed, I finally like have a little bit of time for a breather to myself, and when I finally like stop everything, I'm ready to go to bed. I've still not found that perfect balance yet, because my previous streaming schedule I used to do every single day midday till about 5 in the evening, but now if I do manage to stream, it's from 9 o'clock in the evening to I try and push to midnight on usually a Tuesday or a Wednesday, but I'm having to take such massive breaks in between stuff because I'm like, just life gets in the way and it's so exhausting, and I'm still not used to it yet, and I do not want to give up the streaming. For me, it's like the best way for me to socialize still, because I don't get out the house too often. It's nice because I get to catch up with what everybody else is doing, and it's not all baby related, it's just like what's going on in everybody else's lives, something a little different, and I appreciate that. I mean, I said to myself for the longest time I was gonna do YouTube while on maternity. It's fine, I can balance that. And like, weirdly, and I don't know if this is because I'm not used to making videos, but I find streaming a lot easier because it's just like, it's live, it's in the moment, you make stupid mistakes, but it's fine. It all comes with the territory. And like making video content for YouTube, there's a high level of polish. And like some of these people are, you know, not just skilled artists on YouTube, but they're great videographers as well. Like really engaging, the art's amazing, they're able to capture it absolutely brilliantly. And that is so much pressure. So at the moment, I'm trying in my head to just treat it like streaming. Just don't care. Don't think about it too much. Things improve over time. It's one of those, learning new skills is actually incredibly difficult. I know, like many others, like we put ourselves under so much pressure. We want nothing less than perfection, but screw that mentality now. Just need to get on with it. How much of our lives do we waste and stall waiting for the right opportunity? I kept on thinking that with painting at the moment, having to wait till like I felt really good, really gearing to go and ready. I never felt it, and I feel like I've definitely wasted loads of opportunities. Here we are trying to make up for it. Oh, Caesar, have you come to be a nuisance? Have you come to drink my paint water? Nope. Big thud on the floor. Few of the right layers. This is finally building up. Now I see to lose all this yellow. Like I've got to mix a fair bit of white to make some of this very opaque. There we go, like that. I think at some point I need to go out and buy some more white paint. It's a lifesaver at the moment with trying to block out certain bits. I don't know whether to switch to a flat brush for a little bit. Will I regret this? We shall find out. To go around some of these bits again. I'm thinking we'll get so far with the gouache and then switch to coloured pencils. As much as I want to make this a mainly gouache piece, I think I just miss using mixed media so much. So that way I can soften the edges a lot more. These edges just a little bit. I'll take a little break part of the way through and I might treat myself to playing some Pocopia. I'll let this dry and have a little bit of a mental reset. At least this is starting to come together now. Always gotta like wait until you make a judgment. Gotta get the main parts of the picture in first. Essentially like blocking everything in. Okay. So we'll give this a little pause and then I'll come back to it after a little break and some fresh eyes. Okay, I've had a little break, so let's try and get back to this. This has dried like relatively quite a bit now, so I'll be able to get some sharper, cleaner lines at this point. I'm still trying not to be like too precise with everything. I think I definitely will go over it with colored pencil. Just little bits here and there so we can kind of get that gradient tone going on. I think what I'll do afterwards for this painting, we'll just like add a nice picture of a turtle in the top right. Like not part of the actual piece, but just filling the page as best as we can. A big part of this for me is adding as much darkness as I can into the painting, and then we'll pull it back with the colored pencil, just because it's a lot easier to control that way. So, and change my mind about like trying to keep some of these like white highlights. I'm just going to go for it and completely cover them. I've only taken like half an hour break in between everything, just enough to step away slightly. I think someone's waking from their nap. Oh, you found my sketchbook to sit on. Thank you, Caesar. I'm glad you're here to help me. What would I do without my little studio helper? I think once I'm near enough happy with where all this paint is going, I'll switch where the painting is and we'll move over to the other desk so we can work on pencils a little bit easier. I'm realizing the heavier I'm being with the paint, it is actually easier with this paper now. It can take a lot more than I expect it to, so I can have a lot more fun with texture, although I'm definitely struggling with some of the lighting, certain parts of this. Thicker with this paint here. I'm currently trying to find some good recommendations for like a travel case that I can put together for doing like plein air. Like I've seen a couple from some YouTubers I like, and they seem like quite a good idea because I want to fill them with gouache paint but kind of keep them a little bit wet still, just so I can use it a bit more thickly. A load of water to this bit. So when I add the white, it will blend out a little bit better. Make sure just to keep working with it while it's still wet, so we can have this like nice cloudy effect basically going on. One of the evil things with gouache paint is, like I'm using the white at the moment, it looks really opaque, but as soon as it dries, it's going to dull right down. So you have to really take your time with the build-up of some of these highlights. Unfortunately, I found out the other day that my white acrylic ink that I usually use for like bright highlights, it's completely dried up because I was a dum-dum and didn't put the lid back on properly, which is a shame because that has lasted me years and I wasn't even halfway through it. So that's a bit of a shame. Luckily, they do sell it at Hobbycraft, so at least I don't have to go to a specialist art shop to pick it up. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a repurchase of a few items soon, but I'm trying to put things off for as long as I can. Like if I'm having to like buy things online, then I can try and avoid paying shipping costs if I order enough stuff, and the shopping list gets very big. If I can ever buy it in person, I always try to, but we don't really have any good art shops around where I live, unfortunately. Like even on the mainstream like official art shops, I found that the Birmingham one wasn't very good compared to like the Manchester one, and it's just like, oh, this is a shame because like I wish I had some better options. Like certain brands just don't exist in certain shops. Like I never feel brave enough while doing online shopping for things. If I'm in person, I'm just kind of like, do you know what? Screw it, I'm going to treat myself. Online, I'm like, no, writing everything up in my cart. Everything's taking forever to do. Just don't give me time to think. It's coming out nicely. Yeah, I think this will be good when we add the coloured pencil. So usually for coloured pencil, what I do is mainly watercolor pencil. So I have a lot of colours from Dewwent, because I had like an absolutely massive pack when I was younger, and I'm still getting through it, so that's lasted really well for me. But if I want something a little bit more permanent, like if I still want to like work some wet on wet on the picture, then the Polychromos are quite good for that. I keep seeing at the moment loads of people using the like Caran d'Ache Neo Colour 2s, I think they are, and they look really cool. So I was really tempted to get into like some rougher sketchbook stuff, and they look awesome for that, like having a few select colours for on the go stuff. So we'll see what happens around my birthday, whether I'll ask for something like that. The big thing is just trying to get into art more itself to make it worth it. Like with the sketchbook stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not allowed any new equipment until I use what I've got, and to an extent that is working. Like, I'm finally like touching my gouache paint properly. I'm not saving it for beautiful final pictures. It's like, nope, this is going in a sketchbook. Because previously I was using the Himi gouache in my sketchbook all the time. So I'm like, these aren't professional paints, like nothing's being sold using this paint. This is fine, I can use this. But then I felt so out of practice whenever it came to using professional grade stuff, and I was like, maybe I need to get some practice with the real stuff and just not care too much. It's a bit like the thing of, you know, whenever you get a new sketchbook and you don't do anything for ages because like, oh, the first page, it's got to be perfect. And the same with that with materials. Like, I know how much this cost, I have to use it for something really special, and it never gets used. Probably focus on this next. I think it's more of a purple tone with some of this, but I think I'm going to use this colour, mix in some white as well, a bit more opaque, and we'll just do it like that, and then add a little bit of this every now and then. So the reference image for this is like more like a deep lavender, but I kind of want to keep it in the blue palettes. Let's go like texture as we're moving off from the picture. Oops, to do that. I think we might be ready to start working on the flat now. I'm trying to work, I don't often like put anything on an easel, but I'm trying really, really hard to focus more on just general shapes. So I know as soon as I put the sketchbook flat, I'm going to go into details, just because it's a little bit easier. Okay. Last couple of things, let's just add some black to darken up some of these bits here. Just want you there, and this here. Cool. Let's switch things. Welcome to the mess from top down. I've got some polychromos here, so this is where we can start playing about with some of these textures. Downside about switching to this angle, we have cats. Can't tell yet if this is a pro or not. What do you think, mate? You have anything to say about this? So the nice thing about using coloured pencils over the top of like smooth paper at the very least, you can get some very good gradients. So anything that's a little bit too harsh that you've done, you can pull it back with this. Hello. Yes, we'll just work really carefully with these colours basically. And for me, this helps add the details that I really struggle to with paint. There we go. Now you've settled. Thank you, Caesar. I'm a good boy, aren't you? So what I'm doing is I'm taking the coloured pencils and I'm just essentially refining all the edges and like blurring anything out and almost creating like soft gradients between everything just to help it make it stand out more. Is curious. Yes, he is difficult to work with. I find white is one of the easier colours to sort out with watercolor pencil. I know loads of people use polychromos or other similar pencils for that kind of thing, but something about the watercolor pencils, it seems to deposit the pigment a little bit better, and if I don't like what I've done, I can just wet it to essentially erase it. So it's quite handy for that. But if you're wanting to add like subtle textures here and there, it's a really good one to build up, especially depending on what the tooth of the paper looks like. And then for a real pop of colour, that's where the white acrylic ink comes in handy. Like I said earlier, I've ran out of it, but I think I can carefully use one of my finer Poscas for it. Or I might bring the piece doing this, who knows? It'll be a learning lesson for us all if I screw this up. I'm going over the black that I put down with this dark blue, just so I can give it an overall blue tone so it's not as harsh then. So a quick and easy way, like if you don't want to be mixing colours but you happen to have the coloured pencil form of it, lay down the black first or dark grey and then go over the top that way. Essentially just glazing your work just with pencils. Loads of different other methods to do it, like you can with watercolour for example. But like I said, I think this is a little bit more control for me. Now I'm going to start using some of the watercolour pencils and slowly build up the tone with these to highlight some of these objects a bit more. Everything here's got kind of like an ethereal glow because we're still seeing things like underwater, so we're trying to like keep that gradient going so we've got no harsh edges for a lot of these things. I've got to like transition this a little bit as well just so we lose that harsh dark line so it's a little bit more blended. Now I've got to pick like some fun pops of colour here and there. I'm thinking just putting little bits of this green in, like not in loads of obvious places. And all the sparkly reflections, this will be a nice one for. Bring this into some darker places as well, just so we've got that little bounce of different colours going on. The odd one that I'm going to throw in is some pinks here and there. So the reference picture, we've got quite a lot of like purpley lavender down here, but I think that will very much throw off the blue. Not something that I wanted too detailed, just a bit of fun with colour. and definitely fighting the cat during these last moments. I'm just fully ignoring the reference now, and we're just having fun with what we want at this point. And finally, some white highlights. I'll add the turtle another time to the top right. But now we will just focus on adding all these shimmery sparkles to the top. So as you can see, it's a real pop of colour this way. I've definitely pressed too hard. I don't know if you can see it, like there's a little blob here that I have to be careful of, but weirdly I can kind of use it as paint. Just dip the nib in a bit. Okay, not bad for an afternoon. Trying to think how long this has taken, maybe like a couple of hours. Nothing too over the top. The cat is like fully pushing all of his weight against my arm. Come on, you can sit in my lap now. You're in lap prison. He wants to get to the drawing hand because that's what he's going to rub his face into. But obviously I'm using Posca pens, which is acrylic paint. So that is going to be very difficult to wash off if it dries, Caesar. So please be my friend on this like one occasion. Okay, so we'll leave that there. And I basically call that near enough done. Maybe some little bits here and there, but I think we're safe. I've just realised Caesar's trod in the paint. You've got blue paws, haven't you? You've got blue paws. Can you see? Can you see this right here? Why? Why did I not pay attention? This is my own fault. I'm gonna have to chase him and wash his poor little paws. But just to show you like a previous page of this, not showing you the previous page, but we'll go back a couple. So these are some of like the prior ones. I won't show the other ones, that'll dox a little bit too much. But yeah, I like this because there's lots of pencil texture going on. This is a lot of brushwork for the individual leaves. We're trying lots of different things, and this is really good for experimentation. So I'm getting used to the paper. I am liking it more and more, but I think I'll definitely go for a cheaper sketchbook next time. But thank you so much for watching the video, and hopefully I'll do a few more of these. We'll kind of like understand this a little bit better. Like I said before, I'm so used to streaming that I kind of need to like have a lot of practice with this kind of thing. So if you're okay with a little bit of experimentation, then please stick around. If you're new here, please hit subscribe. I will try and do these more often as I have a little bit more time to myself now that my partner's taking the baby a lot more for days out by himself, which means I've got more time to do artwork. So until the next video, which is probably quite soon again, I will see you until then. Bye bye.